Hello everyone, this is Babamots. Welcome to another Homeworld game review. This is between rogerwood and Christian grindcore. Um, as I was going down the list of the most recently played games, most of them, well, the first, I don't know, what am I on, 6 games, have all been very new players. And I actually tried to do a review of one that turned out to not be a very good game. Uh, the players were too new and it just wasn't very interesting. But I think I'll stick with this one, whether it's good or not, and sort of inwardly celebrate that there are lots of newer players who are trying out Homeworlds and are getting in some games, and we don't have to focus on just watching the really strong games by experienced players. We can learn from the newer folks too. All right, Roger Woods up first. Picks a yellow Goldilocks. Christian takes a green-starred banker with yellow ship. So if Roger isn't careful, grindcore might send a ship clear across the universe to overpopulate at an opportune moment. Roger thinking about trading for red right away. I guess, honestly, I should have commented immediately when Christian picked this homeworld that since Christian went second, Christian picked a small home star that is the same color as Roger's starting ship. So if on this turn, if Roger, instead of spreading out their greens, builds another green, then the small greens are already gone. And especially with newer players, they often don't recognize that the absence of small ships means you're about to get frozen out of a color. Um, and what Christian would need to do is trade their mothership for green so that they can build a green and then get that green out of their home world so that they don't have 3 pieces matching their home star at home. So I think Christian would not have noticed that. So lesson number 1 on turn 2 of the game, if I'd been quick enough, is you almost never, going second, want to pick a home star that is the same color as your opponent's first ship. All right, but Roger does not freeze out immediately. They expand instead. Christian also spreads out their ships. Roger now builds that last small green. Christian, though, has a similar opportunity. Christian can build that last small yellow, and Roger's got a similar problem in yellow that Christian has in green. Although, since both of them have the problem, either of them can build mediums, and then trade for the color they lack. Okay, well, all right. Maybe I was more worried than I needed to be about Christian getting frozen out of green. Roger spreading out to a different colony, which I think is a pretty good choice. Having greens on 3 worlds means that Roger's in a better position for a green shopping spree later. Christian, though, taking another yellow out of the bank. Christian is on the verge of building larges, and Roger doesn't have a yellow yet. Roger discovered a medium yellow star, which helped Christian get toward larges, while Christian discovered a large green star, which cuts Roger out of a large green that they might have wanted to build later. There's only 1 large green left in the bank. But Roger gets a medium. And does Christian... No, Christian takes a red. Yeah, I think that's a mistake. That makes it too easy for Roger to get yellows. But Roger has a bigger freeze out in mind. Sacrificing the G3, yeah, leaving just large left in the greens. Christian, yeah. Sorry, Christian sees the problem and trades out for that last large green, but really it's too late. Roger's got a very solid monopoly, and if Roger, for example, trades a medium green for medium yellow, Christian won't be able to build that green because Roger will just overpopulate it. Having traded for a medium yellow, they'll be in striking distance of Christian's home. Yeah, and there it is. Roger trades for a medium yellow. Christian builds the last of the medium yellows and is in kind of a position to threaten Roger's colonies since Christian has a red back at home. They'd get the first chance to attack. Christian spreads out the yellows, seemingly not worrying that Roger's going to get the first large yellow. Okay, Christian gets to build... Oh, really? I think Christian really should be building that large yellow in this colony. Nope. Christian passes it up. My best guess is that Christian is just not watching the bank. My advice here is you should spend almost half of your time when you're looking at the board looking at the bank. I think Christian just didn't notice that they could get a big ship here. And now Roger's traded it out for a big red. So Roger's in a position to build large yellow again. Christian, okay, this at least has some value. By spreading out their yellows, Christian is presenting a smaller target to Roger. If Roger wants to invade one of these colonies with the big red, there's only going to be one ship there to bother. But now Roger gets even farther ahead on material, building another large yellow. Yeah, it's definitely the right move. And Christian should be building one of those large yellows. Okay, Christian noticed this time. Now what does Roger come up with? Trades for a medium red. I think one of their purposes in that was to put the medium yellow back in the bank to block the second large yellow build. Christian building another red at home. Roger could overpopulate that, but they'd have to sacrifice their Y3 to do it. Roger building another yellow. Now they'd only have to sacrifice Y2 to overpopulate all of Christian's reds. Christian builds that other large yellow, which is nice. Christian catches up in material mostly, but I think Roger should overpopulate those reds. And Roger agrees. So after that move, Christian has no red anywhere, and Roger can reach Christian's home with a Y3 sacrifice. So Christian has got to get a red right now. The only place they can do it is at their home. They've got to trade their large green to do it. One of the little lessons here, I think, is that blue is a more important color than you think. Imagine if one of these stars were blue, or if Christian had a blue ship somewhere. Rather than trading their mothership for red and giving Roger the opportunity to build G3, they could trade one of their other ships, either by using a star power or by sacrificing a smaller blue ship to trade something else for red to defend their home from afar. Let's see if Christian recognizes that they have to get a red right now. They move a yellow back home. They might have in mind that they want to trade a smaller ship for red, which is a good thought, but the problem is that since Roger can sacrifice that Y3, it's too late. Christian needed a red right that very turn. Let's see if Roger sees it. They do. Okay, so Christian, if Christian has a way out of this, I sure as heck don't know what it is. Oh, and Roger uses their last movement to bring a green back home. That doesn't really matter, though. Christian maybe not even seeing that they need to do something about this invader, but they just build a yellow. Roger captures Christian's mothership, and Christian sacrifices Y3 to move 3 yellows into Roger's home to demolish a star, but then Roger captures the last of Christian's fleet. All right, well, a few good lessons in there. Keep your eye on the bank always, and be very careful if you pick a small star that's the same color as your opponent's first ship. You can get frozen out very easily that way, although if your first ship is also the same color as your opponent's small star, then it didn't really come into play in this game, but I think there's a large space of games in which both players traded for built mediums of the color that they were pursuing mostly, and then traded for the color that they were lacking that the other person was pursuing. And don't underestimate blue. If your homeworld is the only place where you can trade for other colors, you might think you're very comfortable having all of the colors, but you never know when it's going to be really important to trade one of your ships for a different color, especially if you're in a position to lose all of your, say, red in a catastrophe. All right, well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching.